let's get real with Rowan. Rowan, what got you started? Why did you want to get into property at all in the first place?
Growing up, I always saw myself as a boss on a construction site. So,
Oh, that's wonderful. I love that. That is cool.
yeah, so, when they give you the handbook back in the day and, here's what you can do after you finish school. And I always just envisioned, so I listened to my mother and ended up going to university and did engineering, which was the university version of construction and property, I guess. And so I took a gap year from university and went and worked in the mines. And look, I guess growing up, we didn't have a lot of money. I didn't go without growing up, but it always felt as if it was a struggle to make ends meet. And that's just something that I have always, just not wanted for my own family. And I think that's where the interest in money came from. And I just started reading books and educating myself in regards to it. I came across a education product where there were multiple DVDs from share market to commodities, and there was one speaker who talked about property development, a short segment, and it really resonated with me. And from that, I went on eBay and I looked up her course, and at the time, being a uni student, and bought her course online off eBay and watched her DVDs. And I said, look, this is me. Oh. This is really what I want to do. And that's when I realized that, that was my calling. And from that, I read, kept educating myself and decided that I was going to take the plunge and do a property deal.
So it's amazing though, Brendan. He didn't come from a property family background.
No.
Right?
Not at all. My parents never invested in anything except for the family home.
And I bet you, before you started uni, I don't think you ever thought about being in property in the first place.
Just a boss on a construction.
Yeah, which is brilliant. No, I love that. That is great.
And now I am boss.
Yes.
As a developer or renovator, the buck
boss
stops
on a
with
construction
you.
site.
Essentially, you all the way from end to end, you're in charge.
So
you're running
what you're telling me is you're living the dream of a child.
Yeah, that's right.
Isn't that fantastic? Yeah. I reckon that's awesome.
Although when I was 5, I did want to be a Formula One driver. But
Oh, it's in the next slide. Got it. Okay, great. So tell me then about your first project.
Our first project was a 1940s Californian bungalow. It was infested with termites.
Or not so nice.
So, no. It was under contract twice before.
Right.
Some other young couples had decided to try to buy it, but their parents talked them out of it.
Right.
Even though it was our first, I researched how to exterminate termites and how to go about that. I put in a lowball offer, which I thought was a lowball at the time, but afterwards the real estate agent said, they were just happy to get anything above land value. So we dealt with the termites, essentially new bathroom, new kitchen throughout, took out a few non-structural walls and opened up with open plan living.
Nice.
And was able to renovate it. It was in Geelong West. So we were working in Melbourne and we'd travel down in evenings afterwards and we'd renovate it out of hours. So looking back, that's probably something that I'd give a tip is,
don't do that.
no.
But you have to do what you got to do.
Well, that's right. Okay.
At the time,
You had a full-time job.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to learn, but essentially your time is best spent finding these deals and getting quotations and managing other trades to do the work for you.
Okay, so let's take the journey that is Rowan. We started out with the dream and the vision of becoming the boss on the construction site. Awesome. That was a trigger to get you started. Brilliant. Went to uni, got the degree. Wonderful. Having done your first project, there's an evolution of growth. You don't go from your first project to where you are today without some additional journey. What was the point that had you think that, you know what, I can actually do this?
Yes, from a combination of my track record of completing deals successfully.
Yeah.
You only get part-time result with part-time effort. So I've always wanted to throw myself into it full-time and pursue it, my vocation full-time. But also I've got, 14 years of commercial construction experience, which once you've done a few deals and you have that financial comfort to be able to leave your job and pursue it full-time, that's what gave me the confidence to be able to do deals.
And that's the win, isn't it? To have done enough deals, to have enough money to give yourself the buffer, the confidence to be able to give this a crack full-time. with enough behind you to say, I've got some latitude.
Yeah, and
yeah, brilliant.
here's a situation where, it wasn't jump head first and just take all in risk. It doesn't
Yeah.
always have to be that way. It can be what you did. You slowly build up your confidence, your skill set, but also importantly, your financial balance sheet.
Yeah.
And then decide to do it when you reach that comfort level.
Cast your mind now back a bit further, well, over your entire period, I guess. What was the best project you've experienced?
The best project I experienced it's actually a smaller reno flip, just because of the terms. I was able to, through a relationship with a real estate agent who was off market at the time, he called me up and sent me a video and said, "Oh, Rowan, are you interested in this?" It was a man who was going through a divorce, wasn't rented, he didn't have the money to spend on it, he didn't want to know about it. And essentially I was able to put in an offer with a long settlement. I was able to get in there, renovate the place, put it back on the market, was able to settle simultaneously. That means buying and selling the property on the same day. And essentially all I did was put down a 5% deposit, had early release of that, so he had some money to spend in the meantime. But yeah, that was probably the best deal I've done in regards to terms and return on investment, because so little, little into the deal. So
Rowan, again, incredible journey, wonderful success, living the life you've wanted. If someone came up to you and said, I want to emulate what you do, I like what you've been able to achieve for yourself, how would you suggest they get started?
I suggest to them to find someone doing what they want to do and essentially get involved with a deal with them to learn the ropes. You can do all the theory you want, but being involved, there's nothing like real world experience and being involved in a deal.
Correct. Now, how would you go around finding that someone doing what you want to do? As someone starting out, right? Say, when you first started, how did you find that person?
Yeah, so when I was educating myself, I'd go to networking meetings, property networking meetings, and meet people and just talk to people, or just barbecue conversations. You talk about, property, and you find other people who have the same interests as you. And from that, you can build your network that way as well.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
As we've seen in today's show, if you know your numbers, you've got far more chance for success in the project that you take on. You start with the end in mind and you start on the sales price. You work backwards, you remove the costs. You ensure yourself that there's enough profit in the deal for you, and from all of that, you can then negotiate the buy price. This is exactly how Rowan started. He did the numbers, and in his first project, he was able to have a great successful outcome. And that's been the model he's adopted throughout his entire journey, to the extent now he's living the childhood dream. But getting to that point requires pulling the trigger. And if you're nervous, if you're stuck at all, then my encouragement, reach out to those around you. Share what it is that you're up to with those people around you, your nearest, your dearest. You'll be amazed at how much support there will be there for you. Next week, we're going to get into renovation gotchas. We're going to look at where it can all go wrong, but we're also going to look about how to get it right. See you next week.